Ah, Bastion. What would we do without you? And of course, right now he's apparently having a collaboration with Honda. Because, you know, Bastion, Accord. Okay, that's really bad, but still, I am really happy that we're receiving a Bastion. At least the fanboys out there are pretty happy with this design. Me included. I just hope that you guys are still holding on to your old support, because if you are a new player and if you want to play Bastion, prepare to get their stuff at a significantly expensive price. This video is sponsored by Phoenix Pharaoh Cards. If you need supplies of singles or splits for Cardfight Vanguard, especially the ones in the video, do check out Phoenix Pharaoh Cards today, and as a bonus, use the promo code MetaNerd to get an amazing 5% discount. And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the MetaNerd channel. I am Marcus, bringing you another video for Cardfight Vanguard Willdress. In this video, we will be talking about the newly revealed Bastion form that is not a mask, luckily. It's been a while since we talked about it, and it's really been a long while since we actually saw anyone playing Bastion. I mean, there are still players out there that are playing Bastion, I understand. But of course, with the recent introduction of Youthberg, I think every single person has been shifting to Youthberg, leaving Bastion behind. But lo and behold, now that we are having the new Bastion form, hopefully people are giving Bastion a chance to actually shine in the meta. Everything's still pretty much retained from the old Bastion to this Bastion here, with a little bit of a twist, similar to how they are treating Viamon's Bruce. These two right lines are actually receiving almost the same treatment, I would say. Their design is almost the same. Without further ado, let's take a look at what the new Bastion actually brings to the Knights of Order. First and foremost is of course the new Bass unit, Sword of All People Bastion Accord. Continuous Vanguard Circle. This unit is also regarded as Apex Ruler Bastion. Second skill, Continuous Vanguard Circle. All of your grade 3 or greater front row rearguards unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effect and gets power plus 5k, active on opponent's turn 2. Second skill, Auto Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle this unit attack, choose one of your grade 3 or less rearguard, stand it, and if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, it gets Auto Rearguard Circle once per turn. When this unit attacks, cast Counterblast 1 and discard a card with Bastion in its card name from hand, and this unit performs drive check until the end of that battle, until the end of turn. So this is a stronger as well as better grade 3 Bastion replacement. It's not that the OG Bastion is bad, it's just that this card does significantly more than the OG Bastion. Not only is it providing your front row grade 3s with the resisting effect on top of the 5k power, it also restands a rearguard for free. You don't need to check whether or not you drive check a grade 3. You don't even need to discard anything to restand a grade 3 or less rearguard, which by itself is a significant improvement to the whole Bastion right line. But of course, the downside to playing this card as opposed to the OG Bastion is that the OG Bastion does gives power upon restanding the rearguard, while this doesn't really gives you any power when you restand your rearguard. But still, without needing to check whether or not you check a grade 3 as well as discard a card to restand something is actually a really good upgrade already. On top of the free restand, your restanding rearguard is able to drive check, which is probably going to be very disgusting. And since you will be restanding a grade 3 rearguard anyway, it is most likely that you will get a twin drive rather than just a drive check. And since this deck just loves to play grade 3, I mean, that's really no longer the case anymore, since we have some grade 2 as well as grade 1s that act as a grade 3 already. So saying that this deck is all grade 3s no longer applies anymore. Although you still need to run a significant amount of grade 3 just for the consistency's sake, because if you are playing Bastion Prime, the grade 4 Bastion, you still need to drive check the grade 3. So it's a little bit sad, but there's really nothing much you can do about it. The discarding Bastion can be reused again with Sapient Owl, which is the promo card for Bastion. I mean, specifically this card is meant to be played inside a Bastion Prime deck, since you will be playing Bastion Prime in this deck anyway. So this card could potentially just salvage whatever Bastion card you discard from your hand for Bastion Accord to get the dry check rearguard. It's actually very nice. Without even you needing to discard a card is super nice. On top of you recycling whatever Bastion that was discarded from this effect, you are able to get a counter charge. It's really good. He is a pretty much a straightforward right line. He's not really that complicated as opposed to the other right line that has a retrain, for example Bruce as well as Nirvana, because those those two decks have fundamentally more mechanic built within their right line. Bastion here is just call your rear guards and smack face with it. He's pretty much the most straightforward deck that we have currently in Cardfight Vanguard Willdress. Not to say that it's bad, it's actually really good for newcomers to the game to pick up and just learn from there. Although the old support that Bastion has is gonna be super expensive because it's been a while since they reprint anything related to the OG boss unit. And now that we're receiving new forms, it's actually not that great in terms of inviting new players into the game. Although I remain hopeful that they are gonna reprint something. If not, it's not really that good. Let's take a look at the other supports that was revealed alongside Bastion Accord. Next, we have Grandeur Dragon. Continuous hand. When a grade 3 card would be revealed from your hand for the cost of your card's ability, this card may be regarded as revealing 2 cards. Second skill, Continuous Rearguard Circle and Guardian Circle. If you have a Vanguard with Bastion in its card name, this unit gets 10k power and 10k shield, active on opponent's turn 2. This is basically here to help the right line requirement to get the, the superior call as well as the draw. Because the grade 1 as well as grade 2 Bastion right line requires you to show 2 grade 3s, 3 grade 3 cards from your hand for you to even activate their skills, be it superior calling the top deck or draw a card. This card basically decreases the grade 2 reveal from 2 or 3 cards to 1 to 2 cards from the hand. This is quite important because you don't really want the opponent to know what you have inside your hand. I mean, sure, you are basically just revealing grade 3s. They technically do not do anything defensive wise, but you really want to limit on how much cards in your hand you are revealing to the opponent. This basically helps with that. With you revealing one last card from your hand is actually really good already. This card is a 28k attacker because Bastion Accord does gives a 5k and he gets a 10k himself, while having a 10k shield for defense just by your Vanguard having to be Bastion is just really good. However, he's not that easy to get rid of unless the opponent does have a board control skill, because he is a 23k attacker. He's at 23k base, and I think I forgot to mention here is that Bastion Accord does gives a 5k even on the opponent's turn 2, which means that this unit is a 28k no matter what scenarios you are in, be it on your turn or the opponent's turn. It's just disgusting. This is even better than Bruce, I would say. Nothing really much to talk about this card. Bastion is pretty much on the simple side. The only thing that is very difficult in terms of Bastion is your resource management, especially your counterblast. You do need to really manage on how you use your resources because Bastion's stuff does cost a lot of resources to play. Although most of their units are very straightforward, but in terms of resource management, you do need to be very careful, just a little bit. This card will be a new stapler card no matter which point of entry you are coming into Vanguard if you want to play Bastion, because this card is just really good no matter what version of Bastion. As long as you are playing the Bastion right line, this card is definitely super good. Next, we have Knight of Nobility Azuluis. Continuous hand. When a grade 3 card would be revealed from your hand for the cost of your card's ability, this card may be regarded as revealing a grade 3. Second skill auto. When this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, if you have a grade 3 Vanguard with Bastion in its card name, cost counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's Rearguard in the same column as this unit and put it on the bottom of their deck. So similar to the grade 3 Grandeur Dragon, this card basically just helps with the right line requirement to get the superior call as well as the draw. Since this is only a grade 2, as this is a grade 2 and can be regarded as a grade 3 whenever you reveal, it basically just helps you with your consistency. Although most of the time I don't think Bastion ever really misses on the right line skill, but having a 5k shield rather than a grade 3 can go really far in terms of defensive, because Bastion isn't really known for his defense because you are running a lot of grade 3. This card does provide a board control that may cripple the opponent significantly if you are able to return something that they can never get back, especially the Rearguard Circle. Since this is a base grade 2 other than being revealed from the grade 3 from your hand, he does not really have a lot of synergy in the Bastion deck because first off, he's a grade 2. While yes, you are able to restand this card with your Bastion Accord, but the resist skill of Bastion does not apply because this is a grade 2, as well as a lot of other cards that really relies you needing to have grade 3 rearguards. It is unfortunate that this card isn't really a base grade 3, but there's really nothing much you can do about it. I mean, there are other better grade 3 units to be run than this card, but this card is here to just help with your consistency if you feel like the right line skills are more important than anything inside this deck. The only way for you to actually run this card inside this deck is to have this card act as a booster for your front row attackers, but one one other problem here is that there are cards in Bastion that actually provides boost for non-grade 1s in the deck. I mean, the deck is basically full of grade 3, so it makes sense that Bastion has some cards that provide boost for all these grade 3 cards. But for a grade 2, it is pretty much unfortunate that support cards that provides boost for Bastion are only specific to grade 3s, which is not that great. So you do need to go an extra mile to put in some cards that basically provide boost for all your grade 2s, which is not really that great because you have really important units to be run first before you even think about bonus stuff like this. I don't see him being played, but he is an option to be run if, of course, you value the right line skill more than anything. Go ahead, but I don't think you will want to run this. Last but not least is the card that was introduced just today, which is Unfeigned Sky Dragon. Although when this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, cost Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 3 cards with Bastion in its card name from among them, reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle the deck. If you reveal a card, choose a card from your hand and discard it. Okay, so this card is a little bit weird because not only is this a grade 1, he does helps you with searching out your grade 3 Bastion. So it is very helpful in terms of consistency in fueling a chord skill as well as your personal right for the next turn. The downside to this card once again is this card being a grade 1 as well as he's only able to get grade 3 Bastion. It is really unfortunate that this card could not get the grade 4 Bastion, and this card can only be used one time is hurting this card really bad. I like that this card does help with consistency, but you already have a card that basically search out your grade 3 Bastion, which is Grandeur here, or whatever his name is. This card, whenever he attacks or the attack that this unit boosted hits, you are able to check the top 7 for Bastion and he's basically free. Whereas this grade 1 here costs a Soul Blast, which makes me wonder why they even bother introducing this support for Bastion. Sure, this card might just be an option for budget players, but if you are trying to go for a competitive standpoint, Grandeur is much more better than this card. A little sad, but this is an R, I can't really expect much. For budget players, yeah, you can run this card just to get more consistency out of your Bastion deck. So let's talk about the instant staplers that you can play alongside the new Bastion Accord. Now, unlike the other retrained boss unit, for example, Vehemence Bruce as well as Nirvana Jiva, Bastion Accord doesn't really introduce anything new. I mean, fundamentally, the way you attack and the way you behave is a little bit different than how the OG Bastion wants to play, but they fundamentally are still the same, with a little bit more flexibility in terms of deck building. You are able to run a little bit more grade 1 and grade 2 inside the new Bastion as opposed to the OG Bastion where you need to dry check grade 3. So it is what it is, but there are certain staplers from the OG deck that could be brought forward to this new Bastion Accord. The first card, of course, as mentioned before, is Sapien Owl, the grade 1 Owl. Not only is this a grade 3 in the hand, in the rear guard, or in the trigger zone, he is a 10k booster as well. And of course, like I said before, he is a Bastion recycler as well as a counter charge. Yes, he does provide you a soul as well. I forgot to mention that. And he basically just helps you with Bastion Prime. Bastion Prime needs to either discard a Bastion from your hand or soul in order to restand your full board. So these two cards here are very good synergy, and I think will still be run inside the new deck because the only thing that you are replacing is basically the OG Bastion inside the old deck. The grade 4 Bastion can still be played, and as I see it, he is more of a finisher rather than a main boss unit that you want to go into as soon as possible. So yeah, these two cards can still be played inside the deck, and they do function inside the deck pretty well, I would say. Next, of course, is Grandeur. Grandeur here is basically just to filter your Bastion out from the deck in order to pay for Bastion Accord skill, because Bastion Accord needs you to discard a Bastion card for your restanding rearguard to dry check. That's one thing, and the other is to personal right for future turns. So you will be filtering out your Bastion like really fast. So in the case where you find yourself running out of Bastion card to discard, you might as well just ride into the grade 4 and call Sapien Owl to recycle your Bastion card from the drop zone. Very nice card, and does provide you with an on-hit pressure as well. The next card is Rodin Lena. This card is the sole reason why you are able to play like a lot of grade 3s in the deck, because the moment you put her into the soul, this card basically gives your Bastion Vanguard the skill to provide each and every grade 3 rearguards boost. So most of your grade 3s are just gonna be a 13k booster, which does surprisingly make a very good number. Having this card to provide your grade 3 rearguards boost is a really good skill. And not only that, you are able to just soul blast her out to give another unit in the off cases where you don't have your support cards to provide all your grade 3 rearguards with boost is actually not too bad. Judging from the fact that Bastion typically does not really use a lot of soul, I think the value that this card provides to this deck is immeasurable. The last two is of course Alden, as well as the other card which I forgot what his name is. Both of these cards are there for you to get draw power, although the requirement for you to activate both of these two units skill to get the draw is a little bit different. The fundamental difference is that the Angel unit here is more of a booster than attacker, whereas, you know, Alden is a really good attacker. So yeah, these cards are really good in terms of helping the whole deck on what your win con is, which is to just get as many rearguards onto the field as possible and then just swing face with it. Really good card, I would say. All of these cards can be and should be played inside Bastion deck, because all of these cards does help Bastion in a way, because all of these cards is really good in helping Bastion achieving what he needs to do. And that is all for this video. Do let me know down in the comment section of what do you think of Bastion Accord. Are you a returning player or are you a new player? And are you going to give Bastion another chance to shine in the meta? Do like and subscribe if you like this video, and of course during the bell notification icon so that you don't miss a video I upload. With that being said, I'll see you all on the field.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.